She is screaming bloody murder and chanting, "I don't need no medicine. I can have this baby. I don't need no medicine. I don't need no medicine. I'm going to have this baby. No medicine." And I'm thinking, shut the fuck up.
One. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Read This, Read That. I am Jackie Reed.
I'm Ann.
Yeah, Ann is in the house.
I'm Ann Reed because the joy is gone.
The joy is good. Girl, I love me some Ann. I love Joy, but I love Ann because she be bringing the truthers.
Ann cuss a lot. I'm just going to let y'all know. Ann cuss a lot. Almost as much as Hunter Biden, who cusses a lot. And I love it.
I love it too, because I always tell you, I think you're too nice. So I love when you have this edge, even if it's pointed towards me. I'm like, I don't care because I love it so much. I relish it. I'm like, yes.
Meltdown, Ann. You like meltdown joy. Meltdown joy is
yes. So what are you drinking? What's your cocktail?
So this is my cocktail. We'll show you all. It's not even in a fancy glass. I just needed to have something refreshing and light. So I mixed white grape juice with white cranberry juice with ginger beer because I'm not feeling my best today. So I figured the ginger beer is going to help like get myself together health wise. And then the white grape and the white cran is making it a little like a refreshing faux cocktail. So that's what I'm having.
Yeah.
What are you having?
You need, girl, what else?
Your favorite?
Prima Pave.
Girl,
will I ever get the proper? I'm always putting a spoon in here.
I do that too. If I went and got the champagne, I drank 2 bottles of champagne in the last 2 days, by the way, full bottles. Okay. That's how stressed I've been.
Do it, Ann. Do it.
Ann been drinking. Okay. That's why today Ann is not drinking. Ann got to take a break. Give my liver a break. But if you look at the champagne bottles before I drain them, it's a spoon that's in there. It really works. The spoon keeps it bubbly.
Yes. Listen, I have tried to put toppings on these things, and girl, they have exploded, popping off in the refrigerator.
They pop off. This is what I'm saying. I spent, and what I normally do is I refuse to purchase a topper because I remember I used to have one that was like a little metal one, and you close it on it. That would pop off. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pay money to have this thing popping off and breaking stuff with its little metal self. So I would just get another bottle of wine when I finish it, take the topper as long as it's got the small enough little cork bottom, and shove that in. By the time you open up your fridge, this sucker done popped off.
Girl.
It popped in the fridge. So what's the point? The spoon stays in.
The spoon stays in. It works. Girl, why? I can't. But yeah, I got my Prima Pave and I am loving it. Now, before we get into our read on read, because this is a very special episode of Read This, Read That. So you have an event to go to tonight. We're going to do this on the air. So you have an event to go to tonight. I think you should cancel.
It's a friend. It's a mutual friend of ours who's having an event.
Yes, who I love.
I love. But my head hurts. I'm not feeling my best. And I've had a rotten day.
Yeah. So, and I think given that, I think that friends understand when you just don't have it to give, we don't have anything left to give.
Yeah.
And you just need some time to yourself. I think friends understand that, right? Because you're not the center of the event. It's not like you're the keynote speaker or you're there to moderate or something like that. No, you're just someone in the room.
You're right. And you know what?
Care any less.
No. And it takes, and I don't people realize, and I think a lot of us, when we get, this is like that age of where Gen X people are like, the definition of being Gen X is not going to things. Have you noticed that? There's all these online memes about Gen X people. We just cancel stuff. But the reason is because we're tired. We've worked. We are the generation that's been working, at least me, since I was 15. Like, we've been working our asses off since we were very young. We are hardworking. We are those grind people. We didn't know self-care. Self-care is not a thing we ever were introduced to. And now that our children, our millennial kids and our Gen Z kids are teaching us about or our coworkers, people we know who are younger, are teaching us about self-care, we're now seizing the day. And so when you got a Gen X person, there's a good chance that they ain't coming to your thing, because we're like trying to seize back the self-care we never had when we were younger. Because we would just, remember, we used to be at work at 8 a.m. And if you left at 5, you were a slacker.
Yeah.
If you left at 6, you were a slacker. I remember being at work till 8 p.m. We would be working 12-hour days for not a lot of money, because it's just how we were raised by boomers.
Yeah, especially in this business. This business, there really are no hours when you're in news.
No,
there are no hours. You're always working, right? Your cell phone is right there. You're taking calls. When you're off of work, you're going to events. You're networking with possible sources. You know what I mean?
All the phone calls. By the way, I will never forget the day of 9/11, which was an off day for me at WTVJ. I was working at WTVJ, the Miami affiliate in Florida, the NBC affiliate in South Florida, and I was off that day. The minute my brother who was staying with us at the time yells, "Oh shit!" We were like, "What?" He's like, "A plane just hit the World Trade Center." He's downstairs. Jason and I run downstairs just in time to see the second plane hit. You know, the first thing I did? Go get dressed, because I already knew that the next thing that was going to happen is I was going to get a call, said I got to go to work. And sure enough, I had to go to work. In news, if something happens, you have to work. Like when the January 6th happened, everyone who was in news at that moment knew you better go ahead and get ready to work.
Gotta go ahead and go to work. Even if it's on a weekend, no matter what. And for me, on September 10th, the day before 9/11, was my last day at CNN Headline News. Wow. And I had a month off before I was supposed to start and move to New York for BET Nightly News.
Wow.
And so I had nowhere to go. I was home all day. But when I tell you, I did not leave from in front of the television until I knew tell you how long ago it was, until I knew the evening paper came out.
Right.
And I went to get the local evening Atlanta Journal-Constitution, because I wanted to memorialize, I wanted to read about what I had been watching, the wall-to-wall coverage of it. And I was in front of my television the entire day watching that. And I ended up having to go to BET early because of what the magnitude of what 9/11 was. They needed me to get started as the news anchor there. So I had to kind of get it together and go up early. But it's a crazy business. It's a lot.
So if we cancel on you, it's not because we don't love you. It's because we tired. We tired.
Well, I say to you should stay home tonight and recover, and send a lovely text, and and just stay home.
I might do that.
Travel.
Because also there's a travel, and then also being out at an event, even if it's just a social event, is also labor in a way, because you have to hype yourself up. Like, I'm literally on a podcast right now and grumpy as hell. You know what I mean? Can you imagine me standing in a room full of people trying to act like I'm in a good mood?
Yes, I can't imagine that. It'd be like when you went to get that procedure and then people were asking you for something.
Wait,
it'd be like that.
Let me tell you how I know that the cousin nation is out here. Okay. What? I ran into one of our amazing read this, read that cousins in the airport. I didn't know this lady. I never met her before. She was there with her baby, an adorable, beautiful baby. Mm-hmm. They're going through, and she says, "Oh my God, Joy Reid, I love you." And I said, "Thank you." And when somebody doesn't say specifically MSNBC, I know they're a cousin. All right. That's how I can tell the difference. Because usually the MSNBC fans will always add something about, I miss you on MSNBC. I'm boycotting MSNBC. I'll never watch MSNBC again. They add something about positive or negative about MSNBC. When they just say, I love you, they're either a fan from Instagram or they are a cousin. So I knew this one lady was a cousin because the next thing she said was, oh my God, I would love to get a picture of you with my baby. And then her next statement was, but I respect boundaries. I was like, not only is she a cousin, she's your cousin. She's on the Jackie Reed side of the legend. She immediately, she didn't even miss a beat. She said, I would love to get a picture with you with my baby, ... But I respect boundaries. I said, oh, that's a Jackie Reed fan right there.
And let me tell you how Anne was like, I appreciate that. But Joy was like, oh no, that baby's so cute. Girl, come on, let's take this picture. Didn't you take the picture?
I did.
Take the picture?
No, I did, because Anne was not there to say no. I said no, but this is what I said. I said to her, I said, it's totally up to you. I said, that's absolutely fine. And then I went through and put my bags through. We both put our bags through TSA. And then as I'm leaving, I got pulled by TSA. So now I'm stuck. I'm waiting for the daughter to come through because she also got her bag pulled by TSA. So we're waiting for our bags to come through. And when she came up to me again and was chatting with me again, and she had a little phone out. And I felt bad because she had basically said she didn't need to do it. And I said, if you want the picture, it's absolutely fine. And then I did take it because I was Joy Ann in that moment. I wasn't Ann.
Did you have makeup on?
I did, because I had just come from an event.
Okay.
So it's going to be a cute picture. And the baby, when I say this is a beautiful baby, beautiful, chubby little boy. But here's what's so funny. He was Ann, because she was trying to get him to smile for the picture. And he was like, I'm sleeping.
He was like, Miss Joanne, you know you don't need to be taking this picture in the airport.
He slept right on through. He said, whatever, lady, you want to take a picture with me? Whatever. Yeah. He was so cute.
But I appreciate that she was like, but I respect boundaries. And she at least gave you the option of saying no, which you would never do.
No.
You'll always
but you can see that so if you're out there, good sis, whoever you are that ran into me in the airport with your beautiful baby, you're a good sister. And we know you're a cousin. You identified yourself as
we love you. We appreciate the respect of boundaries.
Yes, we appreciate
Lord,
it.
Goodness gracious.
At least I wasn't at the doctor's office.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Or in line at the bank.
No, that's the one. We ain't doing a picture of the bank. I mean, I told you about the time that I was at a concert with Jason, and during the little interim, they did a little break, a little break, so that it was like a show. It was more of a show than a concert. And they actually took a slight break, and I was like, oh, let me run to the restroom. And of course, as soon as you walk out, the whole place is, all the women's line is wrapped around the whole damn building. So me, I went to the men's room. I said, I look, when I was pregnant, I had no problem using it. It's just a bathroom. I don't really care. Yeah. So I said, ladies, you ladies in the line, I said, y'all, come with me if you want to live. Y'all want to stand in that line, you go ahead. I'm about to go in this men's room. About 2 ladies followed me, and we go in the men's room. And I'm thinking some man's gonna be like, you can't be in here, but men don't really care. You know what I mean? They really don't. So care. I go, I'm coming out. But as soon as I walked out of the stall, a man stopped me and said, oh my God, Joy Reid. I thought he was gonna say, why are you in the men's room? Instead, he said, can we take a selfie? And I said, not in the bathroom. No. I actually said no. I was like, no, we're in the bathroom. It's like a toilet. Are you kidding me? I gotta wash my hands. I haven't even washed my hands. No. So and then he goes, oh, you're right. I was like, we're in the bathroom. So that I'm not doing. I ain't taking no bathroom selfie now. Come on.
Oh my God. I cannot. That's crazy.
In that case, I did not take the picture because we were in the freaking bathroom.
Well, I'm proud of you for that. I'll give you half a star for that.
I get half a star. I want my half a star. I demand. Boom.
So I also predict that you will go to this party tonight, because even though we're talking it through, the guilt will.
No, I'm not going to go. I'm actually going to text her shortly as soon as I get back my phone because the daughter has my phone. No, I'm not going to go because to be honest, I don't feel well and I don't want to get anyone else sick. Like I'm sneezing. You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
yeah, I took a COVID test. It's not COVID, but I don't feel well. So I think in this case, I think I get a break. I get a block because I'm not feeling well.
yeah. Oh, I hope you feel better. I do.
It's mostly my soul that's hurting, not my body.
You need rest, Joyanne Reed. You can't do everything.
I got a B12 shot yesterday I went to my doctor and she literally said this similar to what you said. She's like, you are not taking care of yourself. You're not doing. I finally am taking my vitamins. She got me to take my vitamins every day. These Therapy good vitamins. So I'm taking my vitamins. I'm doing my best. Thank you. And may I have a fan?
What'd she say?
I'm about to get fired by my daughter. My fan is on the table. You see, this is why we have children.
You need a fan in front of you that blows on you like Beyonce has.
Oh, I'm about to. Oh, it's coming.
Not the hand fan because that makes you sweat more.
It makes you sweat more. No. It's over there. It's coming. I just forgot to bring it in with me. And yeah. So anyway, moving on. I'm waiting for the fan because you see,
I had your phone brought to you so you could send that text. We'll wait.
Oh, is that why you had the phone brought to me? Not because I needed to do what I'm supposed to do?
No. So you can send that text saying you're not coming.
You want me to send a text right now?
Yes, wow. We'll wait. Bum, 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 bum. I'll do elevator music. Bum, 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 bum,
all right. This is like peer pressure and bullying.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Text has been sent.
All right.
I just hit the blue. I hit blue. You heard hit.
Yeah, it closes on August the 8th at 5 p.m. That's the date. Oh, wait, you're muted. You went on mute. Still on mute. Okay, now you're off.
Okay. So, yeah, this is technological challenges ahead. I've sent the text. I'm officially not going to the party because I really actually don't feel well. So,
yeah.
After this, I'm probably going to take a nap. I'm probably going to take the makeup off my face and take a nap.
Please. That's good. That is a good plan. I approve this plan.
My self-care monitor is named Jackie Reed. She helps me out. I mean, seriously, she really.
I know sometimes you see my number and you're like, oh my God.
What I do now?
Is gonna stress me out about. You're probably hiding chips or something.
No, but my doctor literally said, she's like, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not eating well. You're not eating right. She had a nutritionist come in the room and tell me all the things that I needed to do differently, who was very nice. Yeah. And she was like, you need to take this vitamin, this vitamin, this vitamin. She gave me all my list and I've been dutifully doing it because she was like, you literally were suffering from malnutrition. And she's like, that is just not acceptable.
Oh, so the bean burrito that you were having on a daily basis was not enough.
Maybe not. Maybe insufficient.
Maybe.
We should move
What kind of food did she want you to eat? Did she want you to lay off anything?
She said, basically, because I told her I'm trying to do a modified vegetarian diet. And she said her mother is also a vegetarian. And so she suggested that I should drink coconut water because there's a lot of potassium in it.
Yes.
She said that can provide you a boost. She's like, you can't just take vitamins to get your take vitamin pills to get your vitamins. You need to find foods with the vitamins in it. She was like, eat 3 bananas first thing in the morning, get lots of good potassium and lots of good vitamins. She's like, and that'll get you a quick way. She's like, go with smoothies. She's like, smoothies are the answer. Her mother, who is a vegetarian, is on a she's like a smoothie queen. So she's like, if you just find good fruits and stuff you like, and you can do like wheat germ and other stuff that's protein. She's like, throw a smoothie on because since I don't have a huge appetite, I'm gaining weight without like eating a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm not eating the right things. So she was like, just do smoothies. If you can't think of what to eat and if you're stumped, make a smoothie when in doubt.
Yeah,
no more chips, no more popcorn, none of the junk and none of the processed food. She also said, stay away from Impossible Burgers and those kinds of like manufactured fake meat because they're super processed. And so she's like, if I told you what was in them, you wouldn't want to eat them because there's some sort of blood product in them that gives them that meat flavor. And so she's like, it's not quite meat, but some of these, fake meat burgers are not really good for you because the processing and also some of the ingredients. And I've also found that those things are very fattening, right? So she was like, there's a company called Morningstar that actually makes a faux burger, but it's strictly vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
Yeah,
like, you
and
gotta really
Beyond is good. I don't know the ingredients in Impossible, but Beyond is good. It's mushrooms. It's really good stuff. But you do have
black
to read the
beans.
ingredient. Most of the things, I don't eat a lot of processed vegan meats. It's rare. It's like a treat. It's like going to McDonald's for me.
Right.
It's every once in a while. I eat a lot of, organic foods, a lot of beans, a lot of tofu, mushrooms. It's like, if I do feel like, oh my God, I want something that reminds me of a steak, it's rare. I mean, think about
Yeah.
it. Nobody's eating, it's like every once in a while you would have a steak. So then if I
Right.
want that, I'll go get this brand called Meaty, that's frozen, but it's mushrooms and it's really healthy ingredients, but it's processed like most foods. Ice cream is processed,
I
right?
see what you're talking about. And that's the thing. And Americans' diets are so
Is the
full of
worst
processed
diet
food
on the planet.
that you can be. And I mean, I was at one of my most unhealthiest in my life when I was a vegetarian. Like, I was not healthy. When I was a vegetarian, I was anemic. I was sick all the time. Like, I wasn't healthy for being a vegetarian because I was eating, crap, basically. Yeah, I wasn't eating good food, or I was eating like, bib lettuce salads and, and it just wasn't enough food. And so you wind up like, if you're trying to eat healthy and you're trying to get off meat and trying to get off poultry and that kind of stuff, you can still wind up unhealthy despite that because you're still choosing the wrong things. Like today, actually, I did make something absolutely fabulous, which you'll be very proud. It was a multi-step process, but
wait, what?
It was, for me, it was multi-step. For me, it was multi-steps because I made avocado toast, but I made the avocado toast with one of my favorite things, cucumber. I had fresh cucumber and I love cucumbers. So I did avocado toast and fresh cucumber. And so I had to make toast, avocados, and cucumber. That's 3 steps.
So wait, tell me about the avocado. You didn't do guac. You took a fresh avocado?
No. I actually had this. Look, this for me, this is almost like I churned butter. I took a whole avocado, cut that sucker in half, scooped out the avocado, put it in a bowl. I put my favorite new seasoning is something called Slap Your Mama, even though you should never slap your mama. Slap Your Mama seasoning is delicious. It's great on everything. I put it in eggs. I know you don't like eating eggs. I put it in everything. And I took this Slap Your Mama, I put it into the avocado, stirred it up, spread that on my toast, right? Like you'd spread butter, but I spread my avocado, nice thick bit of avocado. And then I had these delicious fresh cucumbers. Fabulous. It was so good.
That's a really healthy meal. The only thing that
fresh
you
cucumbers
didn't
and
have was some kind of protein.
Right. What I should have done is sprinkle, because we have that yeast stuff you're talking about.
The nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. I should have sprinkled nutritional yeast because I've been doing that too. Like if I have something like the other day, the daughter and I made a really good salad. It had everything in it. It had grapes, it had cucumbers, it had tomatoes, it had spinach, it had everything. And I sprinkled nutritional yeast on that as well.
What kind of dressing did you have?
I don't actually use salad dressing. I'm a weird person. I never use salad dressing. I don't like it. I've never liked it. Even when I was not a vegetarian, I just think salad dressing is slimy and it makes the lettuce wet. And I just like my salads dry. I'm just like I eat French fries dry.
You don't put like lemon juice, vinegar, olive oil? Nothing?
I literally eat salads dry because when I have like a tomatoes and I have all the veggies in it, I just want all the crunchy vegetables. I do not want any kind of sauce on my salad. I just
don't.
I never have.
It's
weird.
Really interesting.
And I'm the only person I know like that. And I also eat French fries dry. I don't put ketchup on them. I just eat French fries straight up dry. I know I'm weird.
Fries are good. I can eat them without ketchup, but I just like ketchup on fries sometimes. But I could do it without if the fries are really good. But salad dressing, I usually don't buy processed because when you think about it, everything is processed.
That's the other thing is you're buying a bottle full of unhealthy processed gunk to put on your fresh vegetables. Like what's the point?
But what I do is I get fresh lemon, vinegar, and olive oil, put a little bit of minced garlic in there, a little bit of Italian seasoning, and stir that up. And that's my dressing. If I want it creamy, I'll add a little avocado in there. And now it's creamy. Or you can
See,
put a
I don't
little
like any
vegan
of those
mayo in
flavors.
there.
Yeah,
Huh?
I don't like any of those I don't like any of those flavors. I don't
Oh
like
my God,
dill,
that's
pickly, garlicky stuff. So yeah, that
oh
wouldn't help. I don't like vinegar.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have another girlfriend who is that way. She doesn't like mayo, doesn't like vinegar, doesn't like all these things. And we're always comparing those because I'm, believe it or not, a little bit of a picky eater. I mean, just in little ways.
Yeah.
Don't make that face, Anne.
No, I believe you're a picky eater. Literally, I've been out to restaurants with you. You're literally like, I need to go through this menu. You're worse than Miss Kim. You and Miss Kim are when you go out to eat with Jackie Reed or Miss Kim, prepare for the waiter to be completely confused and thrown off where they don't know if they're going to have a job at the end of the dinner because they have to then do all of these specific changes and requests because they got questions, honey. They don't look at that menu and go, which of these things? They look at that menu and go, what can I change on this menu to my liking? Oh, I know you a picky eater, mama.
It's not like it's not like I'm choosing from a vending machine. There's a whole kitchen with a staff and a chef.
You sound like Miss Kim. You're the same person.
It's not a vending machine. And if you said to them, I want a burger with no, and this burger was described on the menu with onions, and you're like, okay, but I want it without onions, they'll remove the onions. Why can't they give me a side of avocado? I know you got it in there.
It's a whole kitchen. It's a whole kitchen.
It's a whole kitchen. A fully stocked kitchen. Like when I wanted agave instead of honey. And the guy was like, I don't think we have that. I was like, can you check? And sure enough, they had agave.
They had it. Okay, this brings me to, because we are doing a thing today on this podcast. I know we have talked a lot of stuff, all of y'all. Thank you for your patience. We're going to get to ask each other questions, right? Isn't that what we're doing today? We're asking
time for read on read.
Here we go. Read on read. Okay, I have a question for you that's going to be related to what you just said. My question for you, cousin, sister friend Jackie Reed.
Yes.
Describe for me the worst date you ever had. Like the worst.
I feel like I've told this story on this podcast before, but it bears repeating. And I will say that since this date, I ran into this guy about a year ago.
Wait a minute. No, don't tell. I know exactly what you did tell this story, right? Not the I know exactly what you're talking about. Where they thought it was a date and you didn't?
No.
Oh, tell it then.
No.
Tell it.
No, this is oh no, it's not that one. Is this the worst date? Yeah, this is the worst date. So there was this guy who had been asking me out, and I kept saying no. Because we had something in common. Let's say we worked together, right? I'll just say that we didn't, but it was like that kind of situation where it was like, don't fraternize.
Right.
So I was like, no. But he was so cute. And he still is. Like I said, I saw him recently and we laugh about it now. But so I went out to a party one night in Brooklyn, and it was like one of those, girl, we were partying till 3-4 in the morning. It was like one of those parties, and he was there. And a girlfriend of mine was friends with him, and they had known each other a long time, and we didn't. So we all ended up hanging out. So after the party, it was my girlfriend's party. She was staying at a hotel in Brooklyn. So he was like, well, let me give you all a ride. And I didn't live far from the venue and the hotel. So I rode with them. And so it was like 5, almost 6, and like, it was a late night. So we dropped them off, and he was like, well, you want to go get breakfast? And I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's go get breakfast. So we're talking, like, in the car, he was fine. We were all laughing, having a good, at the party, he was fine. So we get to the restaurant. We sit down at the table and we're talking. And he starts to nod off, right? And I'm like, And you know how you see things, but you're like, is this happening? And I was like, are you good? He's like, oh yeah, I had a long shift at work. I'm just tired. So the waiter comes over, brings us our menus. I do my thing ordering all the things, and he orders, and that's that. So the waiter goes away. So he continues to fall asleep. And and I'm just sitting here like, right? I'm just watching this because I'm not gonna, like, I like to let people be themselves. Let's see what's gonna happen here. So he's falling asleep so bad that drool is not just dripping, like it's like pouring like out of his mouth, like there's like a spittle pouring out of his mouth. So I'm like, wow. So he's like full on sleep, so much to the point that the waiter comes back and looks at me and says, girl, what you gonna do? I said, pack that food up to go. So he packs the food up to go. The guy is knocked out. I reach in his pocket to see if he has money because I'm not paying for this bill. He has a lot of cash. I get enough, give the guy a big tip. I didn't keep all, I put the money back, but I took enough to pay the bill. And then the waiter helps me. Like he's woozy, like he's awake enough at that point. Like he was asleep. But then I had to help get him to his car. The waiter helped me put him in the passenger seat, right? And I drive back to where I live, right? I park the car. I lock it, but put the key in the car, right? And I go in my house.
And leave him in the car.
And left him in the car, sleep.
Okay.
I left him in the car. Stuck. Listen, so at about 9-10 o'clock in the morning, I get an angry phone call. I can't believe you left me in this car. My car battery died. Blah, 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 blah. Girl, I was like, click. On the phone. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I hung up the phone.
Wow.
That was my worst date.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And I forgot the food. I left the food in the car. I wish I had taken it. I didn't get the food. I forgot. It was so much because I sat there. I was like, I don't know what to do. And I didn't know him well enough to just be like, let me bring him in my house.
No, why would you bring a strange man in your house? No.
Girl, after you passed out?
No. He could have been on coke. He could have been on drugs. He could have been on heroin. You don't know why he sleep.
He was
fine. I wouldn't have been in the house either. He
called that next morning. He was mad. I can't believe you just left me out here in this car. My car battery died. I was like, I'm not even entertaining this. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I saw him recently. We laugh about it now.
This is going in the book. I cannot wait. In the book, we're going to find out who this is, y'all, because it's probably like somebody really famous. Because this is the life of Jacqueline Reed. Is that she'll tell a story like this, and then years later, you're like, and it was Prince, and you're like, what? This is my life with Jackie. Is that she'll tell me a story like this? I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then years later, you're like, and it was Michael Jackson. I'm like, put it in the book. Put it. I will not. I'm relentless.
Remember what I texted you about the other day, and you were like, "What?"
In the book. and then she texted me back some other bullshit. I'm like, book. And I was not going to say any other words but the word book until she writes this book. Until you do right by me. And the read this, read that, cousin family. Nothing you do you go write this book, Jackie Reed.
I need to. I am. I actually came up with the title.
You write this book.
I do. I really do. I came up with the perfect title. I'll tell you later.
Okay, tell me later. But don't say it out loud because somebody might steal it.
Not
our fans, but somebody will see it outside of this. Not
somebody,
our fans.
No, I came up with the perfect title. I Googled it. No one has it as a book title. So I'm like, okay. When I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's perfect. So anyway,
yes. I dated Prince and Michael Jackson and didn't tell Joy. until later.
I did go to the Essence Fest with him, and well, his wife was with us too. And we were backstage at Essence when he was considering whether or not to perform. It was really an interesting time. We went to dinner in New Orleans, and then we all rode together to Essence backstage. Imagine going to backstage to Essence with Prince. Now, I mean, it was me and my boyfriend at the time, and Prince and his wife. So it was 4 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
In the book, this book is going to be the bomb.
Yeah. And my boyfriend fussed at me because I got out of the limo first, and he was like, "You're supposed to let Prince get out first." And I was like, "Well, I don't know these rules."
Why did Prince gotta get out first? I thought you were going to say you're supposed to let the men get out so they could let you out and open the door for you.
No, I got out first. And it was like, that was a faux pas.
Oh, and the press was all there?
Huh?
The press was there?
No.
Why does Prince have to get out first? Make it make sense.
Because he's Prince, I guess. I don't know.
First of all, to your ex-boyfriend, this is why he's not current. This is why he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, if I'm with a star as big as Prince, he would not get out of the car first. And the reason for, if I was a publicist, now I very briefly worked for a publicist way in the past. And the reason you would not let Prince get out of the car first is if there were paparazzo out there, you'd be pushing him out in front of the photographers before anyone else in the car got out. What you do is you let everyone else get out of the car first and make sure that there's no paparazzi. So since you also are a public figure, the people who are not public figures should get out of the car first, because then any photographers from TMZ or something that are there will be like, "Oh, that's just some guy," and they might go away. And then if a second person gets out of the car that's also not famous, they might be like, "I guess there's no reason to stay." If Prince gets out of the car first, trust and believe he's going to get photographed. And I don't know, I didn't know him personally, but from what I understand from people who did, he did not like being photographed. So the idea of letting him jump out the car before anyone else is actually crazy.
Yeah. Well,
that's why boyfriend didn't make it.
I got scolded. I was like, "Well, I didn't know there was Prince etiquette. I didn't realize nobody read me these rules. I missed the orientation.
Nobody read the Prince rules."
Right. But yes, the book is definitely coming. What's happening?
We're gonna work on this book together, because I am so determined, and I know that you won't write it. Jackie Reed is really good at being proactive about lots of things.
About other people's stuff.
About everything everyone else should do. This lady sends me entire written schedules for me. She sat and thought through a whole schedule what I ought to be doing with my time. But when it comes to her things for herself, she ain't that good at that.
True.
Right? You can manage everyone else's life, but not yours. So I'm going to take control of this book situation. We're going to work on this book because this book must come out. And I want y'all to go into the comments and let us know, read this, read that, family. Do you want to read a book about all of Jackie Reed's exploits with all the famous people she's been to church with? She done rode in cars with people. This lady done tripped over, people at Bible study. She knows every famous Black person, at least on earth. She's been on cruises with them. She's been everywhere. I need the book, first off, for me. And you need the book for you. That is our mission.
It is true. You are correct. You are correct. You are correct. You're right. You're right. I know you're right.
Thank you.
From when Harry met Sally. Yes, you are correct. You're correct. You're correct. You're right. You're right. I know you're right.
I'm not good at self-care, but I'm good at what Jackie Reed should do with her life.
Yes, you are. You really are.
Skill.
So, okay. You give me some wellness habits that you're following, and I will talk to you about my book.
Sounds good. It's a deal.
That sounds like that's a good exchange. You give me 8 hours of sleep, and I'll let you talk to me about my book, because you'll be well rested.
Okay.
Okay. So I have my read on read question for you.
Yes.
Mine is because I think, if I'm not mistaken, you are like a fertile myrtle, and I want to know about the childbirth experiences, without you naming the names of your children, of your kids. Did you have to do any kind of, like, was you just like boop boop boop, popped them out? What was the childbirth like? You know what I mean? Was it easy? Did you have an epidural? Did you do home birth? Like, let's talk about each of the kids and your childbirth experiences.
Oh my God. This is a great question. The childbirth experiences is what I would tell everyone who is young and potentially fertile. Don't have children. It's extremely painful. So,
What?
it's no one tells you, no one explains to you. I do not know how women back in the day were dropping 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11
Girl.
kids. My mother was from a family of 9, and they would have been more, but there was one set of twins that died when they were young. So the mother gave birth 10 times, my mother's mother, which is crazy. She gave birth 3 times, me, my sister, and my brother, June and Oren and me. That's 3 of us. I was not intending to have 3. My goal was to give birth 1 time and have twins. I wanted a boy and a girl twin who were
Oh,
supposed to be named the exact names of my daughter and the middle child, Jamar. Jamar lets us talk about him on social media because he's an actor. Please hire Jamar Reed for all of your
okay.
future
We can talk about
movie
it.
endeavors. Okay. So we had these 2 names already picked out. When Jason and I were early on dating, he always wanted to name our daughter what our daughter's named. And he always wanted to name our middle son Jamar, because Jamar is actually an anagram, Jamar, Jason Mark Anthony Reed. So he's like a junior. So he had wanted to name his kid Jamar since he was a kid. So he always knew. And then our oldest daughter, he always wanted to name a girl that name. So we're like, my goal was I want to have one set of give birth 1 time to twins, a boy and a girl, and be done. That was my dream. It did not work out that way. First child, got pregnant by accident while I was on birth control. And Jason and I were actually arguing, which is not infrequent for us when we were younger, especially. We were having an argument. We were not speaking. We're in the park walking because even though we were not speaking, we were doing this show called Video Dub Plate, which I think I've talked about on this podcast. We were doing our reggae music video show. So we had to communicate because of the show. And so I'm like in the middle of this sort of unpleasant conversation. I'm like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? So then we had to have a baby. We were not married. So the birth experience of the oldest daughter was, first of all, the pregnancy itself. The whole time I was literally, my mouth was watering all the time. It was the weirdest thing. The worst symptom I had of the pregnancy. First of all, I craved, this is where my bean burrito fixation started. Every day I craved a bean burrito. And I mean, sadly, it was a Taco Bell bean burrito. I was literally eating Taco Bell bean burritos every day. It was the only thing I could get down because I was nauseous, but I wanted a bean burrito at morning, noon, and night. I was loving on bean burritos. And then I would go to this place and drink these fresh juices. I was like you. I would drink all this fresh juice. So I was basically living on fresh juice and bean burritos with this child. So I don't know if that caused her to slide out of me easily because I was so burritoed up and so juiced up. But the first birth was actually relatively easy. I go in. Good. Yeah, and we got the worst part of the first birth was the epidural. And also the fact, again, that my mouth watering all the time. I had to constantly, I don't mean to be gross, spit in a cup constantly because my mouth was just drooling. I was like a drooling mess and it was horrible. But at the time, because in New York, when you're pregnant, you got all of these great benefits. I was going regular dental appointments. I was getting all the care. It was like fabulous. And so when I go to have the baby and the doctor's name was Polavarapu, I'll never forget that name. All my doctors were Southeast Asian. Go ahead and deport people if you want. None of them were American. I did not have a single American doctor. They were all foreigners. But Dr. Polavarapu goes, and so we go to have the baby, and we put on some jazz music because we wanted to have a nice experience. The epidural was the worst part. It's extremely painful. And the doctor who came in and said, the anesthesiologist came in and said, you have to hold very still while I put this needle that long into your back.
Is that what an epidural is?
An epidural needle is about that long. It's a big fat needle and it has to go into your spine. It has to crunch through the bones of your spine. And so they tell you to sit in a curved position. Those of you who had babies will know this. You have to sit in a curved position and you have to hold on to a towel and you cannot move because the doctor just announces very casually, if you move, you can wind up paralyzed. So I'm terrified to get this needle in my back after he showed me the needle. Jesus. I'm punched over, just like trying to hold still while I'm having contractions, which were extremely painful. And contractions is like, if you've ever had bad period pain, put that on 12 times that much pain that just keeps racking your body. It's like you feel like your body's being like seized by like a giant demon hand that's like squeezing you to death. It's so painful. So I'm having contractions, holding still, crunch. You hear crunch and it goes in your spine. But once that crunch happens, baby, you are chilling. feeling so good because whatever that stuff they put into that epidural has you just high as a kite. And so even though you feel the contractions, you're so high that you're like, you're okay. So Jason and I are listening to jazz. We're doing our thing. I'm getting the contractions. They hurt, but it wasn't that bad. The labor was maybe 12 hours, which sounds long, but most of the time you're sleeping, watching TV. It was relatively easy.
Yeah.
And so until the baby comes out.
Right.
They pull the baby out and she looks at me. I look at her and her leg that was bent like this flipped over backwards. Hyperextended knee, meaning it went not this way, but backwards like that.
Oh, what?
I start crying. She starts crying. Everybody's crying. At this point, we were like, oh my God, I'm thinking to myself, this child is going to be Wilma Rudolph. If she ever walks again, is she going to be in braces for the rest of her life? The doctor immediately grabs the baby and runs out of the room because she's thinking liability because none of our tests before had told us there was anything with this child. But at the time, you wouldn't believe it now, but I was so small. I was so skinny. I probably weighed 120 pounds soaking wet. And my womb was so little that the baby was crowded in there and didn't have room to stretch and move. So literally her knee had been hyperextended probably for more than a month or more and had just lived hyperextended. So this child's knees went both ways.
What?
So they brought her back hours and hours later in a little tiny cast, in a little mini cast, had set her leg. And we're thinking this child's never going to walk again. So that was the first birth experience. It all turned out fine. She wound up walking on time, doing everything on time. The cast is cute as hell. I have it somewhere in my garage. And it's a little cast like that big. And she was really little, 6-pound baby. So that was the first one. Terrifying, but actually the process was chill. So when I got pregnant the second time, sorry, I got to turn on my fan. Sorry for the noise. So when I got pregnant the second time, this was supposed to be the closer, right? So go through the pregnancy, not as much spitty mouth, which was great. Relatively easier pregnancy, and a boy pregnancy, unlike my girl pregnancy, like grew my hair, grew my nails. I, for the first time, had breasts. Girl, I took so many pictures of my boobies because they were so big. I was like fabulous. I was like, but we didn't have cell phones at the time. So the photos are all like Polaroid, they're not, I can't even find the pictures, but
there are rolls of film. You got like rolls of film.
There are rolls of film with me as a solid B cup. I was just like, I'm so great. I finally had boobies. But the second one, all that boobature, and breastfeeding the first one, because I got pregnant every 2 years. So I had had just really kind of finished breastfeeding when I got pregnant again. Because breastfeeding actually makes you more fertile. So I'm pregnant again, and all my cute little B cup, gone. Second baby took out the boobs. No, they never have come back. And the worst part of it is, since I was so overconfident in knowing I had already done this birth process, we go to the hospital for the second one for Jamar. And I was like, I'm ready to have this baby. I thought it was going to be another short pregnancy. They were like, well, you're not dilating fast enough. This time it was a long process of them waiting for me to dilate. I'm having these contractions. They're like, here's what you should do. Go to the store and take a walk. If you walk around, go to the store, do some shopping, it'll help bring the contractions on. So Jason and I head to Publix. We do our grocery shopping. We go home. We unpack the groceries. We go back to the hospital. And when we get back, the doctor announces, ooh, sorry, now you're dilated too much to get the epidural. And I'm like, say what now? They said, well, you're dilated too much because at this stage, it's not safe to give you the epidural. You're going to have to do this natural. Now, keep in mind, there was an African woman who was sharing the room with me. They didn't give me my own room because I wasn't rich enough to get my own room. And there's a woman in there who's having her baby naturally, and she is screaming bloody murder and chanting, I don't need no medicine. I can have this baby. I don't need no medicine. I don't need no medicine. I'm going to have this baby. No medicine. And I'm thinking, shut the fuck up. Well, I was mad in that moment because I'm in pain. And this lady is saying, I don't, wonderful African lady, I don't need that. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't need medicine, and so do I.
Right.
So I'm like enraged. I'm fully in at this point. Because I'm like, no, you're giving me the epidural. I cannot have a baby without an epidural. I don't think I can do this. I start crying. I'm pleading. They're like, you can't have it. I'm like, I cannot do this without it. Because these contractions are kicking my ass. This woman is screaming and I'm like dying. And I'm like, and they pull the curtain closed to separate me from her. They eventually take her out of the room. I don't know what happened, if it was a complication or what. Now I'm alone with my pain. and Jason. And it was like a nightmare. Having this baby was the most traumatic experience of my life.
Jesus.
It was so painful that literally for years afterwards, I would have flashbacks. I would have almost PTSD flashbacks to how much pain was involved in having a baby without an epidural. I would not recommend it. It was excruciating. He came out fine. I didn't have any hyperextended knee issues. The actual labor took longer, and it was awful. I'm keeping it real. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. But what's so interesting is he came out and he could feel my trauma, because he came out whereas the daughter came out with she was just beautiful with a little round face, just looked at me and didn't cry till I cried. This baby came out screaming, and he screamed for 2 years. He had colic. He couldn't sleep. He literally could not rest. He was in so much constant colic pain, and you had to bounce with Jamar. So I became the bouncer. I had to bounce. Yeah. I could not, if I stopped bouncing, he would scream. So we swaddled him. We tried everything. He was in torment. The first 6 months, I don't think I slept at all. So that was the second pregnancy, which produced a colicky baby, beautiful kid, but just miserable for the first 2 years. My favorite picture of him is the daughter holding him, because she's so excited to have a baby brother. She always wanted to hold him. So picture a 2-year-old sitting there with the infant on her lap, and she's smiling, and he's going, like, literally his face is so twisted. He's just like, and she's holding him like, yay. So that was 2. I have a baby. And she was so fascinated with him. We started calling them, they're like twins. They're like twins 2 years apart. They are literally frickin' frack. They are Tweedledee and Tweedledeer. Like, they are so close, because they just, she would always try to comfort him. She would try to pet him. She tried everything to get. They actually were in a TV commercial together where I was working at Burdine's department store as a copywriter, as my second job, while I was working at the Fox affiliate WSVN. My backup job, my second job, is I was a copywriter at Burdine's, and at one point they allowed us to bring our kids in to be in a Burdine's commercial, and so the 2 of them were in the commercial, and it was funny because the baby Jamar had now transitioned from being the screamer to being the comforter of other screamers. So on the set, you see him in the little scene he's in, he's patting the head of this little white boy who's also screaming, who's screaming. So he's actually comforting a screaming baby, because he's probably like, I can relate, little man, because I've been there. I've been you. I am you. And so he's trying to comfort this little white boy and the dog. And so anyway, so that's that. Now, last pregnancy, this is the end of my story. The third pregnancy should not have happened, because after the experience of Jamar, I was like, never again. No, and also no, I will never have another child, because the experience was so traumatizing that I would no. But of course, because I'm fertile Myrtle, I got pregnant again. Yeah. Third pregnancy is the charm. And this one gave me the worst sciatica I've ever had in my life. I could barely walk. Because it's a boy, it was low. Boys are low. And so he was sitting right on my sciatic nerve. And so I ended up leaving work. I was working still at Burdine's. I ended up leaving the job because I could do the WSVN job was easier because I was sitting all the time, but I just had to constantly be running. I couldn't do it. So I ended up leaving the job with this one. Our only issue with him is that I initially was going to name him Duke Ellington Reed. That was my name that I wanted. And Jason objected. He said, we're not calling our son Duke. And I was like, Duke Ellington, come on.
That's a great name.
On Miles. Yeah, we ended up settling on Miles for Miles Davis. So we still got a jazz name. And that was it. But the pregnancy was not that bad. I got my epidural, so I had my crack. And we slid him on out and never had another child again. And he was, last thing I'll say about Miles, who is a beautiful guy now, he came out looking like, he looked like a grandpa. He looked like somebody old, elderly West Indian uncle. Out of my 3 kids, he came out looking the most like an elderly man. So it looked like I gave birth to what was it? The one who ages backwards. He looked like that.
Benjamin Buttons.
He looked like Benjamin Button. We looked like Benjamin Button. He was so cute because he looked like an elderly old man. But he cutened
Oh,
up real quick, but he came out looking like an elderly grandpa. We used to call him Uncle. So to this day, I still call him Uncle Miles because he definitely looked like my
oh,
old West Indian uncle.
so cute. Oh my
To this
God.
day, he's still
All
Uncle
your
Miles.
kids are cute.
And
They're
he
all
lets me
so
use his
adorable.
name on social media. I only use the daughter is like, don't put me in that. So we
Yeah.
don't.
We protect the daughter at all
Yeah.
costs. Well,
Yeah.
all of them, but yes. Oh, I love that. I've never heard these stories.
One day I'll write a book and put them in there.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Stop trolling me.
But
Stop.
yes, my bottom line is if you choose to have children, just don't let Auntie Joy tell you the truth because people will not tell you breastfeeding hurts like hell. Okay. Your breasts are going to harden up and grow and be extremely painful and they're going to hurt. Breastfeeding is hurt. When that baby suctions on, it hurts. You will not sleep for the rest of your life. Your sleep pattern is destroyed. And having a child is one of the most physically painful experiences you will ever have in your life. Don't let nobody tell you differently. Nothing beautiful about it. It hurts.
Oh, wow. I was listening to Michelle Obama and her brother Craig Robinson's podcast. What is it? Is it IMO? I don't know the name of it. They have a podcast together, and Barack Obama was a guest recently.
Yeah.
And they were talking about their children and having, what was the first one, Malia or Sasha? I think
Malia
it's
is the older one.
Malia. So she talked about how she was not sleep deprived at all because she said that she and Barack was a night owl and she was a morning person. So she said at like 8 o'clock, she would hand the baby off and go to bed and sleep. And she said she didn't have to worry about it until she got up at 5 in the morning and then she took over. And she said because of that, she was never sleep deprived. But I'm like, wow, for him to be like on call all night. And she said that he got Malia trained to sleep through the night in 3 days.
I can believe that, first of all, because Barack Obama is a baby whisperer. If you've ever seen him touch any baby, babies naturally love Barack Obama. It's like he has daddy energy. He has some kind of energy that children gravitate toward him. And that is real talk. Like even on the campaign, when I briefly worked on that campaign, one thing you can count on is if you hand your baby to Barack Obama, that baby's going to laugh, smile, and cuddle him. And then the other piece is, and this is another thing that I think men don't ever admit or that they're not told. Girls are for the dad. Men always want a son, but it is girls who charm the dad, and boys are for the mom. If you have boys, they will cuddle up under you. They will be right up under the mother. And if you have girls, they're going to be right up under that daddy. Because I'm going to tell you, with the daughter, even when she was first born, at first I feel kind of offended because she was to daddy's child from the very, very start. She was daddy's little girl. She would look at him with that whole little wide-eyed look. And the first word she said was dada. It was not mama. It was dada.
Oh, the betrayal.
Hold on one second. Can you please goodbye him? Because I'm not going to go. Yeah, I can go. No. Yeah, I'm going to cancel. I hate doing that. I forgot about the car. Can you please just let him know that I'm not going and apologize to him and tell him bill us anyway? Thank you. But yeah, no, look at that. See, I canceled so much that I'm letting the car go. But yeah, no, girls, I mean, men fall in love with their daughters. And it's so interesting because when our daughter was born, the first, because they snatched her away when her leg hyperextended, the nurse ran out with her. He ran out with the nurse. And I'm like, I'm good. He went with her. So he's the one who was like really there with her in the ICU or whatever they call it, in the baby, emergency room, wherever she was when she was getting her leg. He was the one who was with her. So definitely this was daddy's little princess from day one.
I love that. We love Jason. Jason's a good dad.
He's a good dad. He loves his kids.
Well, now, because this is one of our evergreen shows, we're going to go through some comments from our people, from our cousin, what are we calling it? Cousin Nation?
Cousin Nation.
I put something in that I was like, cousin community or cousin Nation? People were like, cousin Nation. And I was like, okay.
Because I'm always right about marketing things, which is why I'm right about the book. I am. I'm good at that.
You are. I'll give you that. You are right about that. Okay. So let's see. I'm just kidding. This is from, it drives me crazy when people, and I have handles that are like, that make no sense. like, green pants 932. It's like,
Like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean?
why?
Just give me
Okay.
your name. Yeah.
So this is from Sapo 69. I'm going to do my best.
Okay.
Even when Black support shows like Lovecraft Country, How to Die Alone, Rap Shit, Grand Crew, Black Lady sketch comedy, they're still canceled. I don't know which show this was from and what we were talking. Oh, I think we were talking about How to Die Alone.
I think it was The Residents too.
No, it was How to Die Alone.
Okay.
From a while. This is from 3 months ago because we just found out that The Residents was being canceled. But I'm glad you brought that up because I cannot believe that this show is not renewed for a second season. It makes no sense. It's like it was so good. I go back and rewatch it. So many, like it is so on point with the writing and the execution of the acting and everything is so good.
And Shonda Rhimes has delivered nothing but hits for every show she's ever done. Can you imagine? I can't think of another content producer for major networks and apps who's never had a miss. Like M. Night Shyamalan had that first show, I See Dead People. He had that first movie, and then he's had miss after that. What is it called?
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Yes, the Sixth Sense. And then after the Sixth Sense, he struggled, and it happens. But when I tell you she's never missed. And yet you're saying you're not going to renew a guaranteed hit because Shonda Rhimes never misses. Why?
It doesn't make sense to me, but Lovecraft Country, they bring up some great examples.
So good.
That not having a second season also broke my heart.
Totally.
How to Die Alone was so well done.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense that these shows don't have a second season. Yes, yet the second iteration of Frasier, is here, and they have had 2 seasons thus far, and we'll probably get a third. I mean, I don't understand. It's so bad, and I love Frasier, the original. Love Frasier, but
what's this movie that had? Oh my gosh, the series that had Regina Watchmen. It even had it had a what do you call it? A cliffhanger at the end that had you ready to get into it. It didn't get a second season. My sister was in Hellstrom. Hellstrom was awesome. And it had a cliffhanger at the end where you were set up for Hellstrom to have a season 2. It didn't get a second season. Black helmed shows, even when they're really good, and I will say not just Black helmed shows, because I love the show Warrior, which had a predominantly Asian American cast. It got canceled after its first season on FX and wound up getting picked up, I think, by Hulu. So the only reason it got a second season is it got picked up by another app. But it's like these Hollywood, that's why when people say Hollywood is liberal, I would laugh at them. They're not liberal. They don't want to do non-white helm shows. They just do them because they feel like they have to, but then they don't commit to them. They don't stay committed. They stay committed to shows they think are broad. And in the world of entertainment, broad means white.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. It's unfortunate. Grand Crew is another good one, about a group of friends that would go to different wine bars. That show was so funny. I don't know if you ever watched it, but they had 2 seasons. So well done. It was such a great half-hour comedy show, ensemble cast. Brilliantly done. So funny. Not renewed. And Black Lady Sketch Show. Come on.
Black Lady Sketch Show. And let me tell you, this is the other thing. And I think Eric Alexander, who was on our show many, many years ago, talked about this on the show. And I'll just reiterate what she said, which is so true. If you think about it, the reason that people who were in series like Frasier, like Friends, even Living Single, shows that we remember, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, though, the reason that those actors, the reason Will Smith is still rich is because back then, any sort of a series on network had about 23 episodes per season. It was a very lengthy season, and you got paid per episode, and you got residuals per every time that episode. So if you were on the Cosby Show, even if you're on the Cosby Show, for one season, you're going to get paid for the rest of your life as long as anyone ever re-airs the Cosby Show, because you were paid. That's the way the pay structure was. In these cable series and these Hulu and Amazon, the pay structure isn't like that. As an actor, you get paid a flat amount of money to make that series, and that's it. They don't do residuals that way. That's one of the reasons you had an actor's strike, is that actors who used to be able to make a living by being on a series on a network who can make a living for the rest of their lives and be assured some kind of retirement. Now you're scrambling. My sister was literally in a Marvel series. Hellstrom was a Marvel freaking series, 10 episodes, but that's it. You got your pay for those 10 episodes and that's it. They don't owe you anything else. Even if Hellstrom gets played and replayed and re-aired on every single app imaginable, the actors in that don't get any more money. So the challenge is Hollywood has built this new system where they don't have to pay people. And they don't have to have 23. Right. They don't have to have a big season. They have a short 10 episodes is not a season.
It's never enough. Whenever I'm watching a show that I really love and it's like 8, 10 episodes, I'm like, and then you have to wait all this time for the second season, as opposed to you start in the fall, you end in the spring, you take the summer off for a hiatus, and then we're back in the fall.
And you're back on it, and it's 23 seasons, and you have 23 episodes. You can just keep watching.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between being in a series in the 80s and 90s and early aughts and being in one of these Netflix or these series now. The economies are very different. They don't want to pay people.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, look, here's someone who agrees with me on something. This is from Jan Wig 9347. I'm with Jackie Reed. When I lived in Georgia, I was constantly taking in stray dogs. I had my Maxie for 9 years. And I found him. We found each other in the middle of an intersection. Oh, I love that. That's a good meet cute. I love animals like I would love my children. Me too, Jan Wig 9347.
You got to be careful taking in a stray dog. I mean, you have to be careful because they might have rabies. They may bite you.
You take them to the vet. You just take them to the vet.
If they don't bite you first and give you rabies and you don't die first,
you're not going to die of rabies. Stop it. You take them just like Bernie. I found Bernie wandering around my neighborhood, and I got him, convinced him to come in the house, kept him separated from everybody else, took him to the vet. He was like malnourished because he had been out on the streets. But he was a healthy dog and is a healthy dog. He just has anxiety.
Yes.
I need to get him a therapist.
I feel like I need to get Nala a therapist too, because, all we know about her history is that she was born in a very large litter in Texas. And I think they were in a coop. Like we saw a picture of all of the mother and all of the puppies in this sort of like little kennel kind of thing. And then somehow she was flown to Maryland. But my dog, even at 3, almost 4 years old, she's so skittish. Like she is her big anxiety is being contained in any way. She will not be in any sort of container, being in a crate, being in a, just in a separate room from you with the door closed. She's super needy and she's skittish. She'll jump, any sound, she jumps, So something happened in that crate.
Yeah. Sounds like she needs a playmate. I'm just saying.
She has one, and he gets on her nerves trying to hump her.
That's not a playmate then. You got to find her somebody. Get that dog fixed already, Oren.
Yeah, we're working on
it. Get that dog fixed. Okay. I like this one from Janie C-IC1FW.
Okay. Sorry, my fans.
You're giving movement a whole new meaning. Thank you for the laughter. This is the perfect balance of friendship, silliness, seriousness, all packed into an hour show. Is it an hour?
Is it an hour?
You two are the most American thing. You are why America is great, and that gives me hope. Fuck Trump.
And I want to thank you, whoever you are. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Janie C.
Did you?
I love that the ending is like fuck
and she
Trump.
said, and with that, fuck Trump. But what did y'all see that not only did the great Stephen Colbert respond to Donald Trump crowing about him getting his show canceled, and he said, if I was a no talent comedian with no skills, could I compose this incredible missive on my own? And then he turns to the camera and says, go fuck yourself.
Yes,
and then Jon Stewart did one last night where that was the ending of his sort of accumulation too. But rather than just say, fuck Trump, he had an entire gospel choir and they composed an entire song about that. And it was hysterically funny. It's so good.
So good. It was so good. It was so very good. I loved it. Let me see. Okay, so this is interesting. Oh, this is from Pretty Caramel 59. And this is in response to our special episode we had about therapy with the creator of Therapy for a Black Girl. Remember that episode?
Yep.
So she wants to know, what if you're not sure if you are a great fit, meaning you and your therapist, because they're the only one that's available. I've been with my therapist 11 years, and I don't feel that she's a great fit because she knows my whole life story. It is hard to start over after over a decade. What do you do in this aspect? It's difficult to start over because I feel that they're looking for a paycheck as opposed to really caring about what you really have to say. Oh, I hate that for her.
I hate that. And I think you can't continue that kind of relationship, because then clearly they're not helping you. So I think, and the challenge, like you said, they know your whole life story. And this has been my issue too. If you'd have to start over and tell your whole life story again. And it's exhausting, and you don't want to necessarily do that. So I think people stay with their therapist longer than they should because they don't want to start over. But it's like a relationship. If you end the relationship, you have to also start over if you want to have another relationship. But sometimes that's what you have to do for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and therapy has changed. You no longer have, I talk to my therapist on the phone, right? They don't have to be in the same, you don't have to be face to face now to get effective therapy. A lot of people do telehealth. You can get on a video chat with them. You can get on the phone. So I would say cast a wider net and start shopping around, start dating some other therapists, so to speak.
I agree. I totally agree. And as somebody who's been through many of them and ended up not happy a lot of times, I had no problem moving on, because this is one of the issues where I am actually good at taking care of myself, because I'm not going to keep talking to somebody who I feel like is not going to help. Like, what's the point? I don't even, what's the point? I don't like talking about myself. So I don't like therapy anyway. I don't enjoy the whole experience because I don't really like talking about myself. But if I already don't like the idea of doing it, I'm certainly not going to endure something I think is uncomfortable or not helpful.
Right. Oh, well, we wish you luck.
Please, we wish you luck. Find somebody good.
Keep looking and break up with the therapist. Well, if you feel the need. I don't want to give anybody advice.
No, we're not giving you advice on that, but we're saying
no. What I would do.
Yeah.
Break up and find somebody new. But I hope you get better and find a better fit. All right. So this is from Tania S. It might be Tanias 3671. I don't know.
What are all the numbers? I always want to know what the numbers are.
What are the meaning? I don't get that. Okay. Yeah. So they say, great show. I'm so glad you all talked about the need to dress up all the time or not. For my own sanity, I eventually had to say, I'm coming plain and I'm still cute. Also, the pressure can be taxing on the bank account. Shop your closet, sister friends. Exclamation point, heart.
Amen.
Bars, baby, bars.
You probably have so many cute things in your own closet that you didn't even remember you had. And if you went there and just walked and just started going through your closet, I'll bet you have some gems and you didn't even know they were there because you forgot. And that's what, when you forget about them, that means it's time to wear them again.
Yeah. And at some point you have to stop worrying about what people think and think about why you're going. If it's someone's birthday party or wedding or, all this, it's not about you.
No.
Show up neat. You know what I mean? You don't have to have, when you walk up there, everybody's like, oh, who is that? Or, oh my God. It doesn't have to be that moment.
Not about
you know what I mean? It's like, just put it in, because I will say in the past, it took me a while to get here. I have let not having the right thing to wear stop me from going to so many things where I would have had a lovely time. I think I've heard from people oh, we had this and we did that. And I was like, oh, I wish I had gone, but I felt like I had to show up a certain kind of way. Right. And I'm so glad I'm over that, because sometimes, just show up authentically. I like to think, and I know this is going to sound morbid, but I like to think about if this event, I shouldn't say this to you because you go to everything. I think you think about this anyway. If this was the last event you were ever going to go to.
Yeah.
Right. And and you didn't have anything to wear, you would just kind of go and enjoy yourself and have a good time authentically. You'd worry about the experience and not so much about how you're looking in the moment. And I think we need to do more of that. Just kind of, we overthink this kind. And I, like I said, I've been guilty of it. We overthink how we have to show up. Sometimes most of the time, people are just happy that you showed up.
Well, I mean, I think yes and no. I mean, I know that I have a full series of ugly Getty photos that I think about it. I'm like, why in the hell did I wear that? So many times. I have so many bad photos of myself on Google that I wish I could edit it and get rid of them because, I underthink. I tend to be like what you just said. I'll be like, I just want to go. And then I tend to not think enough. In the past, I used to not really think enough about what I was wearing. And then I just have deep regret for the rest of my life of this hideous photo. So
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot better about having a stylist, having some, and you don't need a stylist. You don't have to pay for a stylist. You can just have a good friend that's super stylish. Check with them. And I think it's a combination of, because you don't want to later regret the photos. You don't want to later go back and say, "Ooh, I didn't like what I looked like." That doesn't mean you have to buy new things. But I would say if you know a really stylish friend, don't be afraid to ask somebody, "Do you think this is the right thing?" Like, take consultation so that if it's something you're bringing back out of your closet, at least you have somebody that you think you trust their style advice. Ask them, because what I hate is going back and looking at photos where I enjoyed the event and the memory of the event was good, but what I had on and how I looked and how I showed up, I'm disappointed in myself. You know what I mean? I feel that way about the Tyler Perry opening. Jason and I went to that Tyler Perry opening, and I brought the entirely wrong clothes. And when I go back and look at I had great memories of the event, but I just really am horrified by my outfits.
Well, I'm not talking about those kinds of events.
Yeah.
I'm really talking about things where there is no red carpet, there is no paparazzi, there's no step and repeat. I'm just saying, just not that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff.
You know what's so interesting? What's happened in the world since I think there's been this incredible democratization of quote unquote fame. There's all kinds of different kinds of fame, right? Yeah. Everyone is the star of their own Instagram and Facebook feed. And I've noticed even among young people, girl, every event they have a step and repeat. You will go to I've been to normal birthday parties, this person is not on TV and movies and stuff. They got a whole step and repeat. They got a whole photo room. They got a photo booth. And I feel like because of cell phones, we've all become so inured to everything being a public event, even if it's a private event. I mean, I've been to private birthday parties where there was a whole photo thing happening. So it's like, I almost feel like whether you're in the business or not, there is so much pressure, especially on women, to be as if they are on a red carpet all the time.
And that's why we have to look to Pam Anderson, who I think beautifully has been showing up with no makeup at a lot of big events. And we have to take that pressure off of each other. Yeah. Not to say, listen, I love makeup and I love showing up. I'm not ready to just show up at a red carpet event with no makeup.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I do have outfits that are just basic. You know what I mean? They're stylish, they're classic, black pumps, black slingbacks, a black open toe, black pants, black skirt, black jacket. You know what I mean? Keep the hair neat, cute earrings. Simple. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, oh my God, I got to run and wearing things over.
Yeah, wearing things over, I'm definitely
in. Wear things again and again and again. I mean, I was at the point where I was like, I'm not wearing this twice, but girl, I'm so over that.
I'm so over that. Oh, I was the same way. I have now taken over since our son, since Jamar, I've taken over his closet. I've taken over Miles' closet. And I have most of the closet in our room, the walk-in closet, and I have an extra whole different closet. I have taken over all the closets in this room because of I don't want to wear things twice because of TV. It's such BS. Like, you really can't wear things again. Nobody cares if you wear it again. I mean, some people care, but if they care about that, then they're not really caring about what you're saying.
No, I mean, to me, own it. Be bold about it. Okay. I know we've gone a little while long, but I have two more. Okay. One is from, these are together. So from Patrick Taylor, 7118, Joyanne, spiders are our friends. So we need an update on Charlotte. Is Charlotte still living?
Apparently, because I can't find her or him. I have not seen Charlotte. This apparently this spider has moved fully into this office and owns it now because I can't find them.
I hope that she is a she and has some babies.
Oh God, no. Please no.
Leave little food out because they like food as well as insects. Leave a little crumb.
No.
And then wait a minute, let me see this. Tekor, TEKORIARICHEY.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce that. 780 says the spider has to go, Jackie. So
thank you.
Whatever.
If I find that spider, red rum.
One last comment. This is from Linda_Lawson. Oh, Linda Lawson. I love that handle. Joyanne, you and Tom Hanks have something in common. He is a typewriter collector too. In my family, we thought we were hot stuff in the late 70s because we owned an IBM Selectric. Old school tech was great. Imagine what the future will feature.
We had an IBM Selectric too, and also I thought I was hot shit for having that, and you're absolutely right. And I got a chance to talk with Tom Hanks about that when he came to MSNBC one time, and I got a chance to reminisce with him about freezing our asses off at the 2008 Obama inaugural, where we ran into him at the loo. We were all lined up for the porta potty, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Tom Hanks." He was like, "Oh my God, how are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was my Jackie Reed story where I ran into Tom Hanks at the loo, and he was very nice. He was like, "You and your family should go first," because all of us went together, and he was like, "You guys go first," and then he also, I was the one who asked to take a picture, and he absolutely took the picture. Got another person near us to take the picture of all of us, and was even composing the picture. He was like, no, make sure you come in closer. He was composing the children to make sure the picture was good. Tom Hanks is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And when I saw him again many, many years later, over, the decade, whatever later, probably a decade later at MSNBC, I reminded him of that. And he's like, "Oh, I love talking to people outside the loo." He said some sort of funny joke. And then I talked to him about our mutual love of typewriters, and we had a good chat about it. And he has more than I do, but yes, he collects vintage typewriters as well as me. And I absolutely love Tom.
That.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, all right. We thank you all for your comments. We thank you all for subscribing and for liking, giving us a thumbs up and spreading the word and following us on all our platforms. This does it for this episode of Read This, Read That. We thank you all for going along with us on this fun ride. Yes. And it sounds like Joy is back. I think Anne left and Joy is back a little.
Joy's back. Yeah, Anne took off. and Joy is back, baby.
I love it. I love them both equally. I really do. I love both the girls. Thank you guys for joining us. And please go to 2 users are in the stream with audio only. I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what I'm sorry. I was reading a little message. Please be sure to go to joyannereed.com, where you can follow all the things that is going on with Joyanne Reed, including the brand spanking new, but growing very fast show, The Joy Reid Show, on YouTube. But you can find out how to link to all the things that are Joyanne Reed by just going to joyannereed.com, and it'll take you everywhere you need to go to follow this wonderful woman.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you very much. And of course, you have to also follow all things Jackie Reed, the Jackie Reed Experience, where I'm assuming she's going to preview her book that's coming out very soon because I'm going to help her do it. But all the things Jackie Reed, all the extra stuff, all the great stories, all the great tips, advice, fashion, she does everything. And then you can also, of course, follow vegansexycool.com. Jackie Reed is determined to make us all vegan, but at least she's kind enough to also allow us to be sexy and cool. Because why not be all three? Why would you only want to be one and not all of the others? So follow vegansexycool.com. You can follow her Substack. It's really fun. You get great recipes, great ideas, and you get more Jackie Reed. And who doesn't want that? She's also going to write a book, which is going to be amazing. And then she'll have even more Jackie Reed. I'm just going to keep saying that until she does it. But most of all, when you have followed all of our individual things, all of our stuff on IG and all of our other places, you'll find us. Please make sure that you subscribe here and that you hit that there's a little bell looking thing. If you hit that little bell thing, it'll give you a notification whenever we're live, whenever we got our show up. So that's a really important thing to do. That's a new thing I found about. We should get you to do that, but also share, and subscribe.
Yes, help us grow
the Cousin Nation so that we can dominate America.
Yes, that's what we want. World domination.
World domination. Yes.
We'll take it. All right. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.